We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Hey, they are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, biased and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna oppress us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of our heroes' blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is time of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh, yeah. People of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh, yeah.
What's that marathon? We're not fighting each other. We know where we're going. We're going to get Biafra. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be, Biafra will come. If I'm dead, it's even better because it will come far more quicker. I assure you. If Biafra is fighting for you, no one will touch your property. If you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the best. We will become the 16th member country of ECOWAS. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back. Even twice the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If you touch our investments, we'll come back for you. And we'll know who can get it from. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if I'm not stopping you from being a Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Lagosian and your name is Adama, oh well and good. There's no problem.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very evening program. I appreciate everyone that has connected wherever you're connected from. Like and share the program as you join. Once you join us, just like and share the program so that we can have a very quick one as we always do. Remember, our evening program is always kind of revision of what we did in the morning, and then we go into the media to present their media program and some updates are coming from the media. So wherever you are and wherever you are watching us from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Kabiama to help us to like and share this program. We're not going to take much of your time. You know, it is already late, and all we got to do is to spread the gospel as we always do. We don't come here for propaganda, blackmail, or to attack any individual. All we do is to spread the gospel. Say it as it is. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody believes. We just say the word the way it is. Whether you like it or you don't like it, whether you agree with us or you don't agree with us, you have the right. It is your right to decide your fate, to decide what you want. And we have the right to continue to speak, to continue to spread the gospel, to continue to say the truth and nothing but the truth. Say it the way it is. Whether you like it or you don't like it, whether you want to hear it or you don't want to hear it, we will continue to say it. That is our responsibility. And that responsibility we are going to carry out as much as we can. So as you join us, do your own part by liking and sharing. This evening, we are still talking about the role that the British played in the destruction of the Zoological Republic. We dealt with it in the morning, and this evening we are touching it again. You can never overemphasize the role of the British in what is happening in Nigeria today. The foundational failure, the systemic failure of Nigeria is drafted by the British. The British bought Nigeria from Niger Royal Company. The Queen bought it, and till tomorrow they have not removed their hand. They made you believe that you have an independent, but I bet you don't have an independent. Neither do you know what independent means. The people that are caged in the contraption called Nigeria today do not know what independent means. Wait until you experience independence. Wait till you experience the true independent country. Wait until you experience it, then you will understand what it means. If you want to know how it feels to be in an independent country, look at Burkina Faso today. Look at Burkina Faso in few years that they have been on their own. Look at the progress. That is what independent means. I played a video where the representative of Burkina was speaking to French people, to France, directly, confronting them, direct confrontation, telling them to their face, reading out the achievement they have made in 4 years compared to 30-something years that have been under the leadership of France, direct and indirectly. If you are in the contraption called Nigeria, you don't know what freedom means. Not yet. You have not experienced freedom. Some of you that are celebrating independence, you are still a slave. October 1st is the day they tighten the grip in your fist. A day, they only remove the chain and give you a golden one. But a chain remains a chain. If you are in prison, whether you are placed in the VIP section or you are placed in the home arrest, you are still in detention. You are in prison. You will not know. You are in prison. Wait until you experience what it feels like to be a free man. Then you will understand. And every single thing that has happened today is planned by the British. What you are facing today, what everyone is facing in Nigeria today, is the script written by the British. The insecurity you are seeing today is as a result of the foundation laid by the British. British played a major role in the situation of Nigeria today. The problem is not that they colonized that part of the world they call Nigeria. The problem is not that they colonized that area. But when they were living, they made sure that enslavement, oppression, manipulation, and control remains. That is the greatest crime they committed when they were living after their colonialism. We didn't have a problem with that. But when they were living, instead of taking their hand off the people, the indigenous people, they made sure they handed you over to another slave. They kept in place another structure that will make sure that you remain a slave, if possible, forever. That is why today, even when they see that you are dying, they do not care. Whatever happens to you, they are not interested. They are not interested. What they are interested in is to make sure that you are under control, to make sure that the mineral resources is still flowing to them uninterrupted. When we blame the British for what is happening in Nigeria, we are not doing it out of propaganda. It is not just a hearsay, not because we hate them, but it is a reality. It is a reality of the day. That the contraption called Nigeria was meant to serve the owners. And the owners took you and handed over to someone else, sold you over to Fulanis. I want to ask you, why did British hand over Nigeria to the Fulanis when they were living? Even when they knew that the Fulanis are the uneducated one in that contraption. The less educated people were the Fulanis. The less industrious people were the Fulanis. The less smart people were the Fulanis. But yet, they chose them to hand them over power. Why? That action speaks volume. And it is that problem that we are still suffering today. That is still what the country is suffering. And it will never end. The only thing that will end that is to destroy the structure that the British have put in place. Remove that entire, let that name be thrown into the dustbin where it belongs. Let the people decide what they want by themselves. Create a system and a structure that will save them. Anything short of that is a waste of time, waste of resources, waste of energy. It doesn't matter whether you agree with us or you don't agree with us. It doesn't make any difference whether you agree or not. The truth remains that the Zoological Republic The Zoological Republic was not created for you and I. The zoo was not made for you and I to succeed. The zoo was not made for your own interests. The zoo was meant to serve the interests of the West. And the zoo will continue to serve the interests of the West. Take it or leave it. Whether you agree or not, the zoo will continue to serve the interests of the West. Wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike to think within yourself. Make your calculation within yourself. Ask yourself, why is what is happening in the zoo today happening? Why is the zoo what it is today? The situation of Nigeria is irredeemable. It does not matter how you feel or what you think. The truth remains that the situation of the Zoological Republic is irredeemable. And the earlier you understand that truth, the better for you and I. Nigeria was never created for it to succeed. And those who colonize you are not ready to let go. You can agree with me that even the Christian genocide we are talking about, the reason action has not yet been taken because of the role the British are playing. The British are still playing a very dangerous and dirty role to continue to hold us down and make sure that we remain enslaved. Are you willing to be free, or you want to be a slave? The question is, are you ready to be free, or you want to be a slave? That is the question. If you are willing to be free, what preparation are you making? What effort are you making to be free from the captivity of the British? Election will not save you from what is coming. Election is only a renewal of the chain, a renewal of the enslavement. That is what it is. Every 4 years, they renew the chain. They remove the old one and give you a new one. And you gladly stretch forth your hand and take the chain into your hand. The only people that have refused to continue to be slaves are the Biafran people. The Biafrans are the only one who are very outspoken on what they want. It doesn't matter whether you agree with us or you don't agree with us. You are entitled to your opinion. But at the end of the day, the only people that knows what they want and are working towards it are the Biafran people. Only Chukwu Okike know the reason he placed us in that very place, to save humanity. The responsibility on us as Biafrans is huge and enormous. And we have taken the challenge. We have taken the challenge. From the beginning, we have been leading that cause to save humanity. Right from time. When it comes to calling for independence, we were in the front line, pursuing and asking for independence. Even when others were just relaxing and enjoying. we asked for independence. After they gave the fake independence, it was still an Igbo man who went off for a revolution. When the revolution was truncated, it was still an Igbo man who came to salvage Nigeria. And he died for it. They didn't stop there. It is still the Igbos that suffered. People from the old southeastern region, not only the Igbos, the Ijons, the Ikweres, everyone from the old southeastern region have been suffering the same fate. But I bet you, do not overestimate what is going to happen this time around. We have made up our mind to defend ourselves. We have made up our mind to save ourselves. In fact, we have said enough is enough. And we are ready to fight for what is ours. So wherever you are today as a Biafran, I know the challenges are very, very huge. But at the same time, we will not run away from the challenges. We are going to face it. No matter how difficult it is, we are going to confront it, face it, and fight it to the last. We are already fighting it. The enemies are fighting tirelessly day in, day out. But all I'm saying that we must not lose focus, more especially those of us that are Biafrans. You must not lose focus. Don't lose focus. That is why I feel bad when I see people who lose their focus. And they focus on propaganda, blackmail, and attack on themselves, while the real enemy is out there. The real enemy is out there without confrontation, enjoying their good time. It is sad when I see my brothers and sisters fighting a battle that doesn't want it. As we speak, a lot is happening in the Zoological Republic. So much is happening. Right, left, and center. And we continue to report. As many as we can report, we continue to report them. All is not well. The battle ahead is not a small battle. The battle ahead is not a child's play. You must be prepared wherever you are as a Biafran. We're in a very serious situation, a time that requires commitments, requires toughness. You need to be tough at this time that we are in. Mazi Simon Ekpa spoke about this moment. It is so unfortunate that he's not here today, but he told us what to do at this time. Mazi Nnamdi equally told us what to do at this particular point in time. When we get to this stage, he told us what to do. Mental toughness. This is the time that Mazi Nnamdi was talking about when he spoke about mental toughness. You must be mentally, emotionally tough. If you are not, you might wake up and say you are no longer part of this struggle. We have seen many people surrender, not because they want to. We have seen many people lost interest in this struggle, not because they want to, but because of the pressure that is coming right, left, and center, more especially from the inside. The British have succeeded in dividing us just like their master stroke division. You and I know that One of the things that the British do very well is to divide and rule. They have succeeded in dividing us. And today, while we are busy blabbing, talking right, left, and center, they are busy enjoying our resources. While we are busy fighting each other, they are busy looting the resources that belong to us. They are busy taking away everything that belongs to you and I, to the extent that we cannot even make a case for ourselves. My fellow Biafra, the time has come for us to do the needful, for us to pay attention and focus on that which is right. I thank Chukwu Okukame that some of us that are disgruntled, that seem not to know what is happening. Many people are adding their voice to the atrocity of some saboteurs, more especially the evil of Nneka. I thank Chukwu Okukame that some other voices are coming up and they are speaking. So today, it is not only us in this struggle that are talking. If it were only us, they say, oh, it's only them. It is not only us that is speaking today. Other voices are still speaking. And I saw the response that was given by Nnamdi. And I would like to play the message that Nnamdi delivered to the woman who has sold her soul to the devil. I would like to play the message so that we can listen. And then we can drive our message from that direction. We will never be silent. And I tell you, for you to destroy the image of Nnamdi, you really need to go extra mile. You only end up in destroying yourself. You will only end up succeed in destroying yourself, not Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot destroy somebody whom Chukwu Okukame have blessed. You can't destroy somebody whom Chukwu Okukame have placed and put him in a position. You cannot. There is nothing you can do. Let us hear the message that Nnamdi have for the one that calls herself Nega. Let's listen together and hear the message delivered from her before we continue.
I'm a very, very big one. Ndị Igbo ka na-agakwa n'ihu na-ada abalị. Ọ na-ewute m na ụfọdụ ndị Igbo anyway na aka na-eyuzukwa ụfọdụ ndị Igbo na-emegide ụmụnne ha, na-akatọ ụmụnne ha, na-akọji ụmụnne ha. Aka na-eyuzu ụfọdụ ndị Igbo sọwafụ ndị iche na ha ma ihe, sọwafụ ndị iche na ha nwere brain, sọwafụ ndị iche na ha dị exposed to the things of the world. Aka na-eyuzukwa ha. Ọ bụrụ na ile the brain capacity of ndị na-ekwutọ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, ị ga-ama na most of them which are non-entities, ndị dịkutele. Ị ga-ama na most of them which are non-entities, na-enweghị ihe ahụ, na-enweghị ihe ahụ, even in their father's compound, they are nothing, they want nothing. Check ndị niile na-akparị Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, in their father's compound, in their community, they are worth nothing. So they are the people that whoever can easily use to castigate, tarnish the image of Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. But one thing I want to assure you, that image is beyond punishment.
Absolutely.
That image is beyond punishment. Now let's focus on their new recruits. Newly recruited to be tarnishing the image of Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. I was listening to her. Now, one radio station in Lagos interview on air. Oh, my, why is Maazị Nnamdi Nnamdi Kanu mere together.
I wonder.
Can you imagine Nnamdi Kanu mere? You know, IPOB, IPOB to family business. IPOB you family business. Are you a member of IPOB?
Osimba.
You are a member of IPOB. Then I let you bring in an IPOB, more family business, more public business, more commercial business, more private business. But I let you bring in an IPOB. If you're not a member, you don't have the right, the legal right to ask of anything concerning an organization that you are not part of. Now, the issue of IPOB with family member, family member, family business again, or give with the vision, or give with the vision piano, and they will vision piano in everything, and they will vision piano in everything. All the vision piano get what put that vision. What put that vision? You also see moon that when you choro kaime, what you should choro kaime, or why I'm back to go and I'm going to get this time. You see not the name of the family piano, the vision piano, I get this time. Also, the vision piano, you will have pay and a mayor, bende, corporate, whatever, and a Obasa Hockey. It doesn't concern you. Go and have your own vision. Register your own vision with your name and the name of your family members. But let's look at it. Who is even suffering? Who is even in prison now? So let you take Nnamdi Kanu register IPO. And there is a simple question. For instance, now, Nnamdi Kanu, chief family members, they register IPO. Then another person has to run a Sokoto prison. Let me repeat. Nnamdi Kanu register IPO. Then another person now here register IPO and run a Sokoto prison. Then but the division bearer is the one languishing in prison.
This is a very simple thing. Very simple thing. I just keep it here. The message is long, but I just take only this portion. The message is long. And a simple question. Can she respond to this very simple question? No sensible person will do what Nneka is doing. No reasonable Igbo person will do what Nneka is doing. No reasonable Igbo person will do what Nneka is doing. Instead of focusing on the problem we are facing, you are not focusing on the problem we are facing. You are busy attacking Nnamdi Kanu every single day. In Biafra land today, Fulani people are taking over. Look at one video I saw. Let's watch this video and see this video. What Fulanis are doing in Biafra land. Living freely. They go anywhere, live in the bush. You are not talking about that one. All the exposition Nnamdi Kanu did, they are now happening before your own very eyes. How
can you just come and camp inside the bush? There are no dogs here. These are badgers. How can you just come and camp inside you?
What you are seeing here are Fulani people. Fulani people in the forest. They went to the forest in a village and they are staying there. They camp there and many heavy men. Look at them. They don't want to live in the city. They just go to the forest, see an abandoned building and they occupy it. And somebody went there and was making the video. Let's listen to what they're saying. In Anambra.
How can you just come and camp inside the bush? There are no dogs here. These are badgers. How can you just come and camp inside the bush? Why don't you integrate yourself into the
Soludo will not see this one, though. Soludo will not see these people. Soludo can never speak about it, see them or talk about it. Never. What is interested in sending the Udogachi to go and take innocent lives. But this is in Anambra State.
The community, you can rent houses and live elsewhere. Not inside the bush. These are not done that. That's not the reason. Come and show me.
Look at the healthy men. They can organize overthrow. They can organize kidnapping from here.
People cannot just come and live inside. Camp inside. Everybody here should come out. Don't know how many persons here.
Look at the healthy men. Look at them.
Everybody should come out.
Look at them.
Everybody should come out. When they are yeah, everybody here just come out. Let's know what is happening. Why are you talking? Everybody is come out. You cannot come and live inside this kind of bush and pretend that you are. It is not right. It is not right. If you want to live in a community, you go and rent houses. There are houses scattered around the community. What I am trying to say is this. You people cannot come and live inside. You can't come and live inside here. If you want to stay in your community,
He will give you. Will give you of all people.
You want to come and stay inside it. It's a place of community. We cannot allow that. Where is the person you say that you want to live? I didn't ask you. Yes, now we're giving a voice.
You see what that is just saying? We are not driving anybody. We are not chasing anybody. But can you go and do that in the north? Can you go to the north? Just take a house and live there without payment. And if this were to be their fellow Igbo person, you will see beating. They will beat them. They will take truck and destroy the house without notice. If it were Igbo people that are here, they will use bulldoze the place without notice. But look at them. They are begging them. They are begging them. Telling them they're not troubling them. They should go and get a house in the city. Begging them. We are not driving you. Just go. If you do that in the north. And even in the south, if it were to be their fellow Igbo, they will use, you see, Soludo demolishing places where his brothers are doing business. Soludo demolish places where innocent people. Look at this one in Anambra State. They went and covered in the forest. Look at the healthy men. Very healthy. Look at them. People that can raise an army. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. More than 10 people. Camp themselves there, and you come, you are speaking grammar, you are begging them.
Oh, my name is very common. Very common. Every morning.
So where are that go now?
And not people now. Not too much for them to get it. This Robert said, don't you understand one? Don't you want over one person? No. Now, thinking like that. One person will get 7. One person will get 10. Don't you say 7?
Imagine. They were still explaining, insisting that they stayed there. That's where they stayed. That on Monday they don't go out. On Monday they don't go out because of the Monday sit at home. But is that the question? That you don't have to be in the bush. Go to the city where people are living and rent a house. What these people do in Biafra land, you can't do it in their own land. But the worst thing is that our people themselves cannot even stand their ground to say how things will be done. This is the Anambra State. Soludo will not see this one. What he would do is to go and be chasing people around and send the Dogachi to go and be shooting innocent people. This is how bad it is. Mazen Nnamdi kind of warned you. You didn't listen. He warned you, didn't listen. And I bet you it is going to get worse. Nigeria is gone and gone for good. Nigeria is completely gone. Whether you like it or whether you don't like, the insecurity will never stop. In fact, it will continue to increase every blessed day. They don't care. Who cares about you? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Let's hear this one. We will continue to show videos and also allow people to air their opinion. It is left for you. If you want to hear, you hear. If you don't want to listen, it is up to you. When the consequence comes, you will face it.
New railway project in Lagos, Kanu, and Kaduna, and billions of dollars have been approved. But where is the Southeast in this conversation? Under Buhari, major rail line projects included Lagos-Ibadan, Kaduna-Kanu, and then Kanu to Maradi. And the Maradi in question is not even in Nigeria, but Niger Republic. As usual, the Southeast is practically invisible in that rail map.
Absolutely.
Now fast forward to today. Tinubu's administration has approved new rail line projects again. Urban rail line in Lagos, metro in Kanu, light rail in Kaduna, and again, the Southeast is missing. So the question is not emotional, it's structural, because these projects are not funded by vibes. They are funded by loans. Loans taken in the name of Nigeria. So let's ask the uncomfortable questions. Who exactly is borrowing? Who is benefiting from the loans? And who will repay the loans? Because when you borrow as a country, you don't borrow as Lagos, Kanu, or Kaduna. You borrow as Nigeria, meaning that every region is on the loans book. Now here is where it gets deeper. What exactly is the collateral for these loans? Is it future revenue? Is it crude oil? Or is it national assets? And if oil and gas, which is largely located in the South-South and the Southeast regions, are the collateral or part of what gives lenders confidence, then how do you explain a pattern where the same regions tied to national revenue are consistently sidelined in infrastructure distribution? This is not just about rail lines. This is about equity, because infrastructure is not just development. It is power, it is access, it is economic survival. Now, imagine this. If tomorrow, hypothetically, Nigeria fragments into regions, Biafra, Oduduwa, and Arewa, who inherits the debts? The regions where the money was spent, or every region equally? Because you cannot centralize borrowing and decentralize benefits. That equation doesn't balance. And at some point, people will stop asking politely. Click the follow button for more bigger questions.
We will continue to present it. We will continue to present the speeches. We will allow people, give people the opportunity to say their minds. That is why we are here. It is left for you to listen or not to listen. Nigeria has been sold out. Nigeria has completely been sold out and handed over to some people. It's from hand to hand today. The enslavement is expanding more. You think it's going to end tomorrow? It's not going to end. It is in your hand to save yourself. If you refuse to save yourself, just wait for it. It is coming. I want to show you how Tinubu and Co. are selling the Zoological Republic. Tinubu and his party, APC, they are buying Nigeria now openly, broad daylight. They are buying the citizens with the same resources that the citizens owe.
This is the video that has been circulating online of APC chieftains carrying naira in bundles.
You can imagine.
Like cartons.
Cartons of naira, brand new printed cartons.
This money has not been in circulation. In fact, I don't know the kind of country we are. There is no country money is being moved like this.
That is Nigeria. Only in Nigeria.
In fact, I don't know the kind of government we have in this country.
Only in the Zoological Republic.
Used to develop our economy, but this money was shared to be used to bribe the delegates for primaries. In fact, what we are seeing is just very little. This is the kind of leadership we elect. With all this, we will continue to have negative political system, negative infrastructure, negative environment. I could remember the whole APC governors contributed 800 and something billion naira for Tinubu's re-election campaign. That money alone can fix the whole roads in Nigeria and upgrade our infrastructures. But they will not do that. This is the kind of place they spend our money. They keep borrowing money every day by day. No impact on infrastructures. Our roads in this country are in deplorable conditions. So many countries in Africa are progressing. I don't know why Nigeria will keep moving backward. Because of this kind of video you are watching, this is how they misuse our money, our resources.
You have seen it. That is the zoological republic for you. In the midst of the insecurity that is happening, in the midst of the insecurity, they don't care. Just recently, a teacher was beheaded by the terrorists. An innocent teacher who went for work was beheaded. And the government is moving on with their politics. They pretend it didn't happen. Nobody cares. It is sad. Nigeria is gone and gone for good. For some of you that is thinking that somehow it will be redeemed, shame on you. Better prepare to secure yourself. Secure yourself. Nobody's going to secure you. Prepare to secure yourself.
So that you are defeating the Nigerian army or the Nigerian army is having a rough time with you doesn't mean you are strong at all. Doesn't mean. That is why, if you look, the Fulani people are about 50 million. 7.5 million of that 50 million are men of war. And they are contending against 50,000. They never killed their 300 now. The Nigerian army. Right? So the right thing to do if the government is willing is to create confederal republics of stakeholders. Yoruba is a stakeholder. Hausa, the Southwest is a stakeholder. Northwest is Southwest is stakeholder. Northwest is stakeholder. Middle Belt is stakeholder. Northeast is stakeholder. South is stakeholder. Southeast is stakeholder. Create confederation states of this to survive. That is to survive. If you don't want to survive, don't create it. What we have is, we have mushroom federal babies. That is the state. Because I would like the National Assembly want to create more states, more local government. Those are mushrooms. And
you see, what this man is talking is disintegration of Nigeria. You know, for them, they try to be politically correct. They bring their political correct and begin to speak big grammar. What this man is literally saying is divide Nigeria, divide it and let people be on it. That is what I'm going to be saying. Create country along value system. People that have the same value system to be together. This was what our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, asked for them. They refused it. This thing that this man is talking is what Dim Odumegwu asked, and they refused. And you think they're going to do it now? Now that you succeeded in dividing the old Southeastern region, you created the South Side that doesn't exist. What you are saying is just confusing yourself and bringing more confusion. The simple problem to solve Nigeria is disintegration. To your dead, O Israel, everybody go their separate ways. And simple. Every group that have the same value system, be together. We can all defend ourselves and our territory. We can all prosper. We have, every state in Nigeria has enough resources to sustain them. But the British doesn't want it. They continue to use their agents to manipulate, to enslave, and make you be afraid of your freedom. They make you to sound political correct. Anytime you come online, you begin to speak grammar that doesn't have meaning, just like this man is doing.
Terrorists, those are now the federal government wants to create more states. They want to create more mushroom states, more federal babies that the terrorists will just eat and swallow. But when you create Oduduwa Republic or even region, you create Wararafa region, Biafra region, Niger Delta region, Midwestern region, and create all this. There's no terrorist that will go there and come back alive. Because you will have mobilized at least 2.5 million able-bodied people who are ready to die for their land. If you return all the soldiers that are in the military, go back to your region. Those that are looking like they are helpless in the Nigerian army, when they come back to their own regional army, Republic army, you'll be surprised. The terrorists cannot stand them. Now the Fulani is enjoying what you can call, they are united, they have all the powers, they have all the connections to the outside to help them. Oduduwa doesn't have any country that is helping them. Middle Belt doesn't have any country that is interested in their welfare. But Fulani has Turkey, Iran, and all those places backing them in this project. The youngest, even a primary school level pupil in Fulani, knows how to assemble AK-47. Our graduates, of all these people that I'm talking about, I've never seen an AK-47 before. So they are far ahead in their militarization. So the other zones who are not yet militarized should be held to militarize themselves before the Fulani assume that when they conquer the national army, Nigerian army, or when they overpower Nigerian army to submission, then all of us have been conquered. It's a wrong assumption that the president should help us to correct.
So if you listen to this man very well, everything he said is the only way out. And this is what I have been talking about in some of my videos. I've been agitating for this. Look, the only way out to be liberated from the ends of this Islamic jihadist Fulani terrorists is for us to have a regionalized confederation of states. Let Oduduwa nation, for example, be confederated. Let them manage their own security, their own military. Let them have the autonomy to do all of these things. Let IPOB be confederated. Let them manage their own military. Let them manage their borders, their territory. The same thing goes to Niger Delta military, the Med. Let these people manage their territory, manage their resources, and all of that. All the way to Middle Belts, even the Fulanis. Let them be confederated. Let them manage their own resources by themselves. Just like the way the Fulani are powerful, let every other region too be powerful. I don't know why 50 million population of Fulanis is holding Nigeria ransom just because they have the backing of Islamic nation, they have the backing of Iran, Turkey. If we can confederate our region, then IPOB, for example, we have access to Israel, we have access to US. The same thing goes with men, the same thing goes with Oduduwa nations. They also have access to, external powers, just like when the Fulani has access to Iran and to external powers. If not, this country will be run over by Islamic jihadists, Fulani terrorists, just like what just happened. What happened in Mali? Yes, they just run over Mali, killing the Minister of Defense, just like that. But the reason why they will not be able to achieve this in Nigeria is because Nigeria is very big and populated. Although Mali, in terms of landmass, is bigger than Nigeria, but in terms of population, they are very little, very small. Think about 26 million in population compared to Nigeria, that's about over 300 million in population. So the confusion of the Fulani is that if they can conquer the other part of Nigeria, then I'm talking about the Fulani terrorists now. If they can conquer the northern part of Nigeria, then the southern part of Nigeria can be conquered by foreign mercenaries. That is why they have to, ignorantly, they have to make Tinubu ignorantly sign the agreement with Turkey. And Turkey is coming to this country, not to go and situate at the northern part of Nigeria, but they are coming to the southern part of Nigeria, to the coastal areas. That means they want to situate around southern part of Nigeria, around the Niger Delta, around the southeast, in order for them to frame up these people for terrorism. We have peace in this part of the world. It is only in the northern part of Nigeria you see terrorism every day by these Islamic terrorists, Fulani jihadists. So this is their plan. They know they are very little in population, about 50 million Fulani. They know they cannot take over Nigeria. But because they have access to foreign, powers, they can now, bring these people to Nigeria to cause unrest, chaos in this country. So, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you can confederate this country now, if you can create a regionalized government where every region will have the autonomy to manage their own military, manage their territory, insecurity will die its natural death. And this is what we're expecting you to do, and prosperity will remember you for that. But if you will not do it, God in heaven will remove you and replace with somebody who will do this.
You can continue to lament, continue to cry, We did hear the watchman. For more than 2 decades, we've been talking about this. Because of this issue, they called Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. Because of this issue, Nnamdi Kanu is facing a life sentence. Because of this same issue, Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, is detained in Finland. You can continue to be politically correct for as long as you care. Everyone will pay the price. And it's going to happen very, very soon. Everybody's going to pay the price. We must continue. It's either you listen or you pay in a very hard way. In a very hard way. The people you have in Nigeria, they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't give a damn how you feel. Who is going to do the regionalism? Who is going to save Nigeria for you? Tinubu? That is busy. Is busy destroying it. Hear this one. Hear this one. For you that is waiting that Tinubu should go and create regionalism for you. After he has signed contract with the caliphate.
If they put one of them and I went at present, you are the super minister of LCT. What has made what to know that following him, it is the best thing that will always happen in Nigeria. Because of the blockade of Strait of Hormuz that Iran blocked, that is why even Europe and America is suffering more than Nigeria is suffering.
Imagine food.
This morning, we are going to stone them out of office.
Imagine that fool supporting APC.
We are going to stone them. All those bosses they are buying, we are going to stone them out of Nigeria. We will stone them. Don't worry now. Wait till the next campaign starts. Don't worry. Are you not ashamed? After buying well, 1,350, you say you're on your mandate. What mandate? After buying cement, 12,500. Somebody is saying that he's not this. Is it not a shame? Is that how evil has eaten your brain? That you boldly and openly support evil? How can sensible human being supported APC? What has APC done? What has APC done to gain the support of the masses? Show me if Tinubu have done something, who vote for him? But let him come out and say, this is what we have done. All Tinubu have done is borrow, and borrow. And he has not come out to tell us so, the terms of and conditions of that borrow. People don't know that. This man has sold Nigeria. But you are here saying that APC, this is not about party. This is about good governance. You understand? We are not doing party here. Nigeria have been destroyed by this set of people. And what we want is to vote them out, is to chase them out of Nigeria. Even ban them and their generation from contesting any position in this country.
But it's the same people that are defecting. Like, okay, now.
Listen, even though it is the same people that defect, a man is a thief, and he says, I want to repent. There is room for happiness, and there is room for repentance, even in the Bible. When a thief says, I don't want to be a thief again, then it's okay. You want to change? Say, we'll give you room for change. Those people that are defended, they have said that, no, we want to change. And we are going to support them to make sure that this change comes. But anybody that will come out and say APC, that person is an enemy of this country.
These are APC. Listen, you are saying this.
They cannot the APC what? The APC. Opinion what? What opinion? What opinion?
Your opinion cannot be my opinion.
So as you are now, as big as you are now, if they put by people and I went that person,
no problem.
You are evil. The super minister of LCT. What has made what so know that? Following him, it is the best thing that.
Look at the fool. A man with white baby talking rubbish. This guy is a fool.
That anywhere, any day, anytime you can trust.
This guy is a
He
fool.
has never failed his supporters.
And a lot of Abuja are flooding.
And even the opposition in Abuja and Nigeria can expect attest to this fact.
Imagine.
Yes, a wicked has
And when you listen to this, you think Nigeria will be good. You see somebody campaigning for Wike of all people, a criminal. Look at him. Look at him. And some of you think Nigeria will be good with this kind of mindset.
Is where I belong.
Hey, Chineke,
It's exactly because they say when a man performs well, you give him another work to do.
Can you tell me what Wesowike performed for you, this idiot?
Come 2027, he will deliver. And when he delivers, a trusted fellow that will govern River State will not have cause to regret. Because this time around, that mistake we made, we are about to correct it and we'll correct it by 22. By Wednesday, the correction will start by Wednesday. So you admit trusted person will come.
God have mercy.
All of us will follow in 2027.
God have mercy.
You admit APC had made mistake that the government, the current government has failed.
You did not understand me. When you want to treat an injury, go to the root cause of it. I've continued to say that the government of Buhari took this country back 500 years backward because that is what President.
Look at this goat. What is this man talking? What is it? Is this the kind of mentality that people in Nigeria have? And you think Nigeria will be better? How can Nigeria be better with people with white beard speaking in this manner? I wonder.
And you are saying that the condition of Nigeria, what condition of Nigeria? What is this one was? For 1,300. I don't put fuel now. The price of fuel is not caused by president. No, but it's caused by the price of fuel is all over the world.
You are a fool. You are talking nonsense. Not all over the world. Go to the countries that are producing fuel. The fuel is still on the same price there. The same price. The price is not affected. Even in Iran, they are still buying the same price.
You see that Xi Jinping of China has gone to visit Trump. They had a meeting and they have Trump went to visit him and they have agreed. Xi Jinping has agreed to talk to the Iranian authorities to open.
Look at this clown.
And as soon as that place is open,
look at this clown. You are talking about international politics that you don't know nothing about. This is how they deceive themselves. Ask him. Ask him. Ask the idiot.
okay, now what are they pass that one?
We have crude oil here. We don't.
They tell us straight up and you answer them.
Hey.
Even before the war, Nigeria have bought fuel over 1,000 naira. Two of us. Before the war, have we not bought fuel over 1,000 naira in Nigeria? When Tinubu has no office. Tinubu has brought problems to this country. Tinubu has brought evil to this country. He knows nothing about governance. He knows nothing about leadership. All he knows is to follow and share the money to the few and publish the masses. And you are here telling us that the healing of Nigeria, somebody called you that my leg broke. The next thing you do, you broke the second leg. And you are telling me that I should have patience. When I broke the two legs, even the hand, you should have broke it. And somebody is telling that you should continue. It's only a fool that will like to continue to cut them off. If Tinubu first tell them can be like this, hey, that is where I tell you truth.
So Tinubu will win this.
God forbid. He never won the first one. But the only thing is that we didn't defend our vote. He never won the election. Tinubu does not have 5% of Nigerians. That's the truth. He never won the first one. But this time around, we are going to defend our vote. And anybody in Ireland that thinks that he will come here and tell us, especially those coppers, that they didn't give me something to upload and result, we are going to beat you. So don't come. Don't come.
All right. Thank you.
Imagine when you listen to the mentality of people in that contraption, we say Nigeria is irredeemable. You see a man with white beard. You see a man with white beard protecting and defending his oppressor, ready to throw blow for his oppressor. How can at this point in time, a human being that knows how to put food in the mouth be supporting Wike? Look at the idiots giving excuse for high price of fuel with the state of Hormuz. Is Nigeria importing fuel from Iran? Oh God, God have mercy. God have mercy. It is good. This is why I go and touch on all these issues. You bring the event that is happening in Nigeria so that people can see the mentality of people that call themselves Nigerians. See how they talk and how they behave. That is why we go there to bring them. Because we cannot just be talking on our own. We go there, we bring the information so that you can listen and see, hear, even the ordinary people you are fighting for.
You see these two men. We see these two men. These so-called elders. These so-called highly respected elders. My prayer for our generation is that we will not be to our children what these men are to us today.
You see?
These men that had voices so loud when things were not this bad, but find it so convenient now to keep quiet because of what to eat and because of what is entering their pockets, or because of one property somewhere that they want to protect, or one contract that their children is getting. Imagine. So they are seeing their children, they are seeing their future being wasted. They don't talk. The one that claims to be a pastor is in tribalism, nepotism, being entrenched, even in the church. He says nothing. He will say he's drinking tea with God. People will be cheering him on because he's a tribal champion. You will see the truth today. He will not say anything. He will see the same thing tomorrow. He will start talking. It's like the wind. Because your person is now in power, all those things that you considered as wrong before, all of a sudden, they are not worth talking about anymore.
That's so.
The other one that called himself an educated person, he said after a period of time, he's going to access the government and speak his mind on issues. We are still waiting for him. He has been covered in shame. My people say it is expected that you are foolish at a young age, but not in your twilight days. Pa Adebajo of blessed memory, he spoke the truth with boldness.
Absolutely.
And he made it clear that Nigerians have a choice to make. And by the time they will be bearing the consequences of that choice that they are about to make, he will be in his grave. That is a man that saw the future. These are the people that are a big cause of Nigerian problems. We can blame Tinubu, but these people are worse. Because those that are supposed to be the moral compass of the people have been so compromised. Then what is the hope of the common man? These are people that when they talk, people respond. Once they call something bad, everybody will say yes, it is bad. Once they call something good, everybody will follow them and say it is good. But now things are going so bad, they are kept quiet. They are looking at it. It is normal. The people should bear it. The people should not protest. The people should be praying as if God can be mocked. If prayer would have solved Nigeria's problem, it would have been solved since 1960. It is not prayer. Don't let them deceive you. The people slaughtering people all around in the name of religion, they are also praying. But the question is, what heart are you carrying as a human being? This is the question I'm asking these two men, these two old men. What kind of heart do you have? What kind of heart do you have? Or you can call yourself anything. But we, as the younger generation, we are asking you, what kind of heart do you have? Because believe you me, there's no how Nigeria can change today that people of my age will say they are now enjoying life. We are fighting for our children. We are fighting for Nigerians, the young Nigerians, the children, little kids. That these men are looking, getting kidnapped, and they are not saying anything. Getting their schools being razed to the ground, they are looking. Getting their teachers being murdered in cold blood, and they are looking. They want things to continue to be business as usual. This is where
We will continue to bring it concerned citizens, those who are concerned, who are helpless. We will share their voices. We warned you, you didn't listen. We warned you, you didn't listen. You called us noise maker. The jungle have matured now. Jungle don't mature. The jungle has matured. So whatever you see, you take it. So my fellow Biafran that are watching, wherever you are watching from, we are still going to go into their media to bring more informations from the media so that people of the world will see the shame of the Zoological Republic. And the people will see why we are calling for the end to the contraption called Nigeria. When we say end it, it is not a propaganda. We are not saying it out of hatred. We are saying it to save life. The reason we are calling for the end of Nigeria is to save life and nothing else. Look at how a teacher was beheaded in cold blood. An innocent teacher. The only crime he committed is that he's a teacher, nothing more. The only crime he committed was that he's a teacher. An innocent teacher was murdered in cold blood. And when the innocent teacher was murdered, what did they do? Nothing. Some idiot will still come on the national television and begin to defend the criminal who called himself Tinubu. The clown who cannot defend the country. The clown who came in power and he want to dominate, he want to take over everything. He just want to grab the power and run with it, and he will do nothing with it. Today, people are dying. People are literally dying everywhere, and there is nothing he can do. People are losing their life, right, left, and center. People are dying, and there is nothing he can do. An innocent teacher. The only crime that teacher committed is that he's a teacher, and they murdered him in cold blood. I want you to listen what this idiot, this liar, this bloody idiot and liar, how he's defending his master. Instead of owning up to the responsibility, he's busy defending his master. Let us listen to what he had to say. Idiots. When you see them, you think they have something in their brain. Nothing. The only thing that is their brain is extortion, criminality. That's all. That's the only thing they have in their brain.
All right. Now let's start with.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Now let's start with what has Nigeria heartbroken right now in Oyo State. 7 teachers and students were abducted from 3 schools. One teacher, Mr. Michael Oyedepo, was murdered, was beheaded on camera. Teachers are protesting in the streets. Parents are terrified. Governor Makinde has shut down schools across 4 local government areas. Now, this is 12 years after the world pledged $30 million to secure Nigerian schools after Chibok. How does the Tinubu administration explain to Nigerian parents that their children still aren't safe in classrooms in 2026?
Really, it is a terrible situation and a sad event, and the much that evil men can go to do this evil on their fellow human beings is what is unimaginable. This is the evil that is attacking us as a people. And this government regrets this incident, but this government is committed to fighting it. Our approach to dealing with this is to work with the Nigerian people in partnership. So it is unfortunate that after many years, this is still a sad situation. And like I said, and it bears repeating, that government regrets this incident, but the president continues to enjoy Nigerians to have faith. Let's partner together and we will put an end to this problem confronting us as a people.
I mean, yes, you say that the government regrets the situation, and the president has called this killing barbaric and said the IGP is personally leading a tech-driven operation. But Nigerians online are saying they have heard these statements before. After every mass abduction, every terror attack, statements are issued, condolences are extended, and then it happens again. I mean, what do you think that will be done differently this time? Regrets are accepted, but we need solutions, Mr. Boala.
I agree. Solution is what we all look to. And if you recall, if I cast your mind back to when the Sandy Hook shooting happened in the US during the presidency of Barack Obama, if you remember at that time, despite the announcement by the government of the United States and the commitment to put an end to it, it sort of was happening from back to back across the cities in the United States. Evil men operate anywhere in the world. No matter how tight you are as a government, you do your best, and then you expect that with the help of God and the collective participation of the people themselves in providing intelligence or in forming a vanguard, so to speak, we will be able to put an end to it. I know the Nigerian people continue to complain, and that rightfully so, because if, for example, no matter how we say we're sorry and the incident happened again, people will complain, people will cry, people will mourn, because for God's sake, it's the life of the Nigerian people that are taken away by this evil element. And let me tell you, Oji, this country, Nigeria, is bordering about 3 or 4 Sahel countries. This Sahel area, Sahel region, has now been considered as the epicenter of global terrorism in the world. It constitutes 51% of the global terrorism-related death. It is a serious situation. We know of the porous border that we have, but we also know that the president has directed that the relevant security organizations should be recruited. They should recruit personnel, and some of which, especially the SSS, will have to go to the forest. We need the people to also, as much as possible, when they have information about individuals in their communities that look strange, communicate to the law enforcement. And we will put an end to this as a people. I want to say one more thing regarding that. Every eve of election in Nigeria, from 2014, 2018, 2022, and now in 2026, you will see that crisis increases because of this idea of a crisis economy. A lot of people take advantage of that. But the will and the spirit of a collective people is what will put an end to this situation. The Constitution has guaranteed the right to every citizen of Nigeria, the right to private defense. You have right to defend yourself. When your right, my right, the right of my neighbor will come together, it is called collective right to defend ourselves. And Nigerian people have a right to defend themselves as a vanguard in their communities and localities.
You said we have the right to defend ourselves. I'm sure that you know that we do not have the right to bear arms. So I don't know what you mean by defend ourselves. How will that happen? What do you say to the Nigerian people? How do they defend themselves from terrorists?
Right. There are many layers for self-defense. Number one, if I am in my house and you come into my house and try to harm me, any lethal weapon I use and kill you by defending myself is guaranteed by the Constitution. That's number one. Number two, as a people, we have vigilante. In Borno State, we have paramilitary organizations that work as vanguard, and some of them go as front lines to provide intelligence to law enforcement. Yes, you're right. The Nigerian people do not have the right to bear certain arms unless those arms are permitted. But a collective people can come together and apply to the government for the right to coordinate themselves, a self-regulated militia. And I remember that there was a time the current Director General of State Department talked about when he was sent to Balewa. I think at that time they used to have this kind of crisis, and how he advised them of how communities can come together and put an end to it. And it worked. So I think that the Nigerian people in villages, in towns, in places where the presence of government is not very much in terms of law enforcement and security people, you can come together and create a vanguard and then apply to government to give you license, because government can give you license. So you apply to government to give you the license to bear arms that are permitted by law for the purpose of defense of your community.
Self-regulated militia, and this is your advice to the Nigerian people. Let's talk about these joint efforts. Now, the US-Nigeria joint operation that killed ISIS's second in command, Abu Bilal al-Muniki, was announced first by President Donald Trump of the United States on Truth Social and not by the Nigerian government. Now, 175 more terrorists have been eliminated in follow-up strikes. Now, if this is a joint operations, and this is what many Nigerians are asking, why is an American president announcing it before Nigeria does? And what does that say about our own communication strategy and ownership of our security wins?
Right. So as a government, we are not in competition with the United States as to who announced what. We're also not in competition with the United States government as to who takes the credit. Both the United States and the Nigerian government have shared interests to end terrorism in our borders and terrorism in our homes and terrorism in our communities. Joint operation or collaborative effort in dealing with terrorism has so many layers. The layers could be intelligence sharing, it could be training, it could be provision of arms, it could be precision, strike, and it could also be ground operation. All of these things are elements that can come together. The operation that was carried out was a kinetic operation. And so as a people and as a government, we are not particularly in struggle with the United States as to who should announce first and who should announce second, or who should take the credit or who not. If you look at the statement of President Trump on Truth Social and the statement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, both of them have appreciated each other and have complimented each other in this endeavor. That is what we are focusing on, because that is the fact issue. But we are not about the externalities that have no relevance to the target that we are looking at.
So is this what we're going to see moving forward? Will President Donald Trump continue to announce the attacks on Nigerian soil?
What I can guarantee you is that we will continue to see the pouncing on the attack and how we are dealing with these terrorists. You are going to see more of the strike, more of the operation that will attempt to put an end to terrorism, because it's a global concern. But as for who will announce first, it's not part of our agenda. I also believe that it is not part of the US agenda. Nigeria is not offended that Donald Trump has announced first. Nigeria is excited that we have created a partnership that is putting an end to this terrorism by first of all taking the head of the snake and then decapitating the body of the associates.
All right, Mr. Boala, let's talk about the economy. President Tinubu is now seeking a fresh $1.25 billion World Bank loan approval set for, I believe, June 26th. And, we all know that it's election season, and this is just coming 6 months before the 2027 election. Nigerians flooded the World Bank's Instagram page, begging them to stop lending money to the federal government. Now, the World Bank locked their comment section. Mr. Boala, when citizens are begging international lenders not to give their government money, doesn't that tell you something that is fundamentally broken in how, Nigeria?
This is the eve of election, and so it is difficult to tell whether the citizens who have flooded the page asking that Nigeria be denied the right to borrow, whether they are opposition, they are opponent, or they are genuine citizens. But whether they are opposition, opponent, or genuine citizens, they are citizens of Nigeria. And they have a right of expression. But government has a duty to execute the provision of the Constitution. In leadership, you listen to people, but when it comes to carrying out your responsibility, you do that in accordance with the law, due process of law, and your understanding of the responsibility that is placed in your hand. If as a government, you are going to react to a people who on social media say do not borrow Nigeria A, B, and C, What about if you have a counter distinction of another set of people saying, go and borrow? How are you going to move as a leader? Leadership is not guided by certain things that do not have the backing of law. The World Bank, the IMF, and experts in the field have said that our borrowing so far is still on amber. It is not red because we have been able to establish a revenue ratio, even though it is not that much, but it is not a danger, it is not red. The truth of the matter is this. We do not as a country have sufficient funds to deal with infrastructure to stimulate the economy. And with the daunting tax on us and the responsibility to redirect the economy, we have to do what we have to do. Borrowing is part of it. America is borrowing money, and that is the largest
This
economy.
idiot is fond of
There is
giving
no
example
country
of
of the world that
America.
is not borrowing.
I don't know why they like to give example of America when you can't do 1/4 of what America is doing.
Conducted or done now.
Stop comparing yourself with America. You don't have to.
The World Bank and experts have said it's amber and
This
not red.
idiot, a disgraced
On our end,
human
we
being.
have to invest in infrastructure. We know we have to invest in capital, a project, and that is why we are borrowing. And the president has already said that borrowing is not leprosy.
All right, so Mr. Bwala, you think for a moment that those people that flooded the social media, World Bank's Instagram page might be opposition. It appears that they're overwhelming opposition at this point, because for the World Bank to lock their comment section, it means that there are a lot of frustrated Nigerians.
I Rise Television, of the platform on which I'm being interviewed at the moment, on several occasions. Several occasions have had to lock their comment section. I am a witness to it because
really, I don't remember that.
Staff of Arise.
Really, okay.
I can the next time you interview me, I'll give you date and time and event.
I want
it's
screenshots.
natural for you to lock up. People have their reason. The World Bank locking up their comment section is outside of the control of Nigeria. And I have not said when I was answering your question that all of the people who flooded the pages and the page of World Bank demanding our opposition. I'm just giving you a scenario. This is the eve of election. You will not be able to tell whether these are opposition, these are Nigerians, or these are opponents. Then I added by saying that even if they are opposition or they are ordinary citizens, they are all Nigerians, and they have a right to express that. But the government has a duty to do what it has to do.
And
sometimes,
anybody
as a
that
father or
believes
as a
in
mother,
an idiot.
you take decision that is not palatable with the members of the family, but you know it's a decision you have to take. Why? Because it's important for the future and guarantee the security of the family. That's the tax of leadership, the price of leadership.
All right, Mr. Bwala, I want to clarify this. I want to make it clear that Arise Television does not block their comment section. I mean, you can be a witness. You can go on the morning show, the live feed, you see it. People are commenting every moment. We have no reason to lock our comment section because we need the feedback of the Nigerian. Yes.
Don't even give yourself enough pressure to say that I am not gazing. This is a fact that some years back, Arise TV on one occasion have had to lock up the comment section. Personally, I called the staff of Arise and said, why do you guys lock up the comment section? And they say sometimes the noise from the people, you have to lock it up. So if you are in doubt as to what I say, all I did is to give me another time. I will come with facts and figures. You know, we are in the eve of election. We come with receipts. We are no longer doing conjecture anymore.
All right, maybe you tell me that person, because I mean that is against our policy. We do not lock our comment section. Now let's just move on this conversation. You are the special advisor on policy communication. So now let's talk about the message the APC primaries are sending. We have videos of officials skipping numbers while counting votes. Today I took a story where in Kogi State, we saw somebody counting from 100 to 300. Yahaya Bello won, his primary while under, EFCC investigation for that 80 billion naira fraud. We saw the Senate president who's now running unopposed as a consensus candidate. Now, how do you communicate democratic credibility when your own party's primaries look like this?
There are two issues that you have raised. The first one has to do with the primaries, and rightly you mentioned, counting irregularity. I am sure you also reported today, I watched your program, where in some states, results that were earlier announced were later corrected. They may have connection with some of these irregularities.
This man is a criminal.
To correct mistakes.
This man is a criminal.
Number two, the idea of the
a big criminal. Look at how he answered that.
Being elected. There is no law of the land that precludes, restrict, prohibit anybody who is standing trial from running the office, even to the highest office of the land. Because the one we practice says that you are presumed innocent until you are proven guilty. The innocency that is presumed by law, it is as though you are as clean as every other person. So anybody who is standing trial has every right to run for office until he's convicted. That conviction alone will then invalidate whatever outcome of that is election. So everybody should be allowed to do what constitutionally they are guaranteed to do. But this is we're even better because there are individuals in this our democratic process who don't even believe there should be primaries. I'm sure you know Peter Obi has been jumping from pillar to post like table tennis, going to parties where he'll be given automatic ticket. He fears primaries. He wants to be adopted. There is no undemocratic means. And what is pathetic, I am expecting that when you're analyzing that, people should be weeping because there is a thin line between that type of lifestyle and dictatorship. Where you don't want a democratic process where somebody will emerge by popularity, you want to be adopted, and that's why you're jumping from one party to the other. I expect that should dominate the conversation and stories trending.
Are you calling Peter Obi a dictator? Is that what you're calling him now?
Yes, I want to say Peter Obi has the trappings and the tendencies of a dictator. Right from his days in Abga, Peter Obi lost the primaries in Abga, but because of the honor to late Ojukwu, he was granted that opportunity. From that day, Peter Obi has never had any primaries in his life. And you have seen after he left ADC, by themselves, as they keep talking to the media, they said that he has had a discussion in which he wanted assurances that he was going to be adopted. There's a difference between adopted and consensus. Because somebody can come, like, for example, Rotimi Amechi, he actually went with the mindset that, okay, let us have this conversation towards arriving at a consensus. It's part of the democratic process. But when you say you should be adopted, you have even eliminated the tendency of a conversation that will lead to consensus. You are a dictator, and the Nigerian people should avoid it because such an individual will not respect the rights of others. The fundamental principles of democracy is the right of individuals to exercise themselves. If you say you want that, and all these people you are hearing that Peter Obi has a movement, people are following him. They are following him because they want to also get to be adopted in their political party, not because they like him or he presents an ideal vision for a better future. And I expect that conversation to dominate the media because that tendency can destroy democracy anywhere in the world.
Well, now Peter Obi has emerged as the Nigerian Democratic Congress sole presidential aspirant for 2027. Kwankwaso is now, being floated as the potential running mate. He has declared that he will run with Peter Obi as vice president. Sheyi Makinde just declared on the PDP-APM alliance. Now, the opposition is making moves. Does the Tinubu administration see a credible opposition threat in 2027? Or are you confident that that the opposition will split the votes again like they did in 2023?
Even if you bring all of them together, they are familiar customers to President Tinubu. He has defeated all of them. He has defeated Atiku Abubakar. He has defeated Rotimi Amechi in the primaries. He has defeated Peter Obi. He has defeated Kwankwaso. And these are the people that are leading the conversation around opposition. And he defeated them when the odds were against him. The odds were heavily against him at the time because there was a conspiracy to ensure that Tinubu did not even get to the screen, not to talk of standing primaries. A man who has defeated him when the odds were against him, how do you think that when he has been able to consolidate and has redirected this economy with testimonies we have, recommended and praised by World Bank, by IMF, by everybody
this
around,
guy is a clown.
and that type of a person that this
guy is a real
in fact, sometimes I used to say, and the best repeated, mentioning Peter Obi in the same sentence with Tinubu is being disservice to President Tinubu because all his proteges that have governed in Lagos, one after the other, if you place their record side by side with that of Peter Obi, they've done better than him. So, but in democracy, anybody who says he wants to become president, he has the right to come out, and that's why we're mentioning Peter Obi and Ashwaju. They are not supposed to be in the same sentence. They are not they are not mates in terms of capacity, in terms of history, in terms of achievement, and in terms of political sagacity. In fact, this morning, Oji, I saw a video in which somebody was saying, and I will forward to you, in case you want to have a program context. The person was saying that Peter Obi and Kwankwaso are running this election in order to make money. I will send you the video. I didn't say it. He said because they made
people can say whatever they want to say. Everybody has their views, right? Do you believe that to be true? Is that what you're saying?
I agree that everybody has a right, but the fact that they say he ran to make money is something I'm interested in digging further to know, because I know in the last election he did not win the election, and I know after the election, in the last election, they had a problem at their level where a lady who was their treasurer called to question the accountability of their resources. So these are facts. You cannot bring these people and say you are going to stand there side by side with President Bola Tinubu.
All right, at this moment, you don't believe there is a credible opposition as we speak. That's what you're saying, Mr. Boala, right? Before we end,
I will tell you this: there is no credible.
Go ahead.
There's no credible politician in the opposition now that has the capacity to defeat Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in this election on 4 grounds. 1, on person-to-person resume. 2, on political sagacity. 3, on record, because we have
these people are shameless.
And the 4th one.
These people are shameless. When this guy is talking about resume, what resume does Tinubu have? A drug baron. A drug baron, convicted drug baron that nobody knows his age. Nobody knows his age. Nobody knows how the school he attended. Nobody knows how he made his money. Nigerian politics is really dirty. It's really, when you see these clowns speak, you begin to wonder, where is their conscience? When you see idiots like this speak, you begin to wonder. The only reason I play them is for people to see their shame and disgrace. When we say Nigeria is a disgraced country, we don't just say it and go to sleep. We go say it and we show it to you, for you to know that Nigeria truly is a disgraced country. Disgraced country. That is why I show their media programs. Because if we don't show it and just talk about it, some of you will not believe. Some of you will just think it's a made-up story. So when we say it, we show it to you for you to see. Maybe when you see, you believe. We cannot just be talking about it without showing you. That is why I go to their media, bring some of their news and show to you for you to know that we are not just on social media making noise. Every single thing we are saying are the truth and nothing but the truth. They can continue to run away from it. That will not change the truth from being the truth. Why we are here is to expose them. And we will continue to expose them. Let's listen to this there trending news and see what is happening.
Today is May 20th. Arsenal just won the Premier League after 22 years. Iran is holding mass weddings. For more volunteers, U.S. Nigerian forces eliminated 175 ISIS terrorists, and cocaine was hidden in a Kim Kardashian underwear shipment. Let's dive right in. I am Oji Ekpa, and this is what's trending. Now, before we dive in, let's talk about the music that has Nigeria vibing this week. Adekunle Gold just released Fuji Extra, a 5-track deluxe edition, expanding his critically acclaimed album, Fuji. Let's listen in. In London, to mass weddings in Iran. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. U.S.-Nigerian joint strikes have eliminated 175 ISIS terrorists in northeast Nigeria. First, ISIS's second-in-command, Abu Bilal al-Muniki. Now, 175 more killed in follow-up operations that destroyed weapons, caches, checkpoints, and logistic hubs. Several senior ISWAP leaders were also eliminated. Nigeria's anti-graft agency on Tuesday arrested former Minister of Power, Saleh Maman, in Kaduna State. Maman, who served under Buhari's administration, had been on the run after being convicted in absentia and sentenced to 75 years in prison for massive financial crimes. Iran held mass public weddings in Tehran for hundreds of couples who signed up for a state-sponsored self-sacrifice scheme, pledging to put their lives on the line in the war with the United States and Israel. The ceremony, broadcast on state TV to boost wartime morale, included couples arriving in military jeeps with mounted machine guns and being married on stages decorated with images of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei. In entertainment, a Polish lorry driver has been jailed for 13 years after attempting to smuggle 7.2 million euros worth of cocaine hidden inside a shipment of Kim Kardashian's Skims shapewear brand. The driver was stopped at a UK port with 90 kilograms of cocaine concealed in his trailer doors. He was paid just 4,500 euros for the job. In sports, history was made. Arsenal won the Premier League for the first time in 22 years on Tuesday. Manchester City's draw with Bournemouth handed the North London club the title they've been chasing for 2 decades. And they're not done yet. Arsenal will face Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League final on May 30th.
Of what will be a very long and very special story.
Up Arsenal! You see this? Who are the Arsenal fans here? Quickly.
Ayo is what?
Ayo, Ayo.
I'm not an Arsenal. This one.
Yes, she was wearing her just. Oh, they fed me against. Well, I don't watch football. I don't even know.
I should have won the red up because of Ayo, because I know Ayo would have had a. Well, I mean, gosh, 22 years. I was reveling in the moment.
Right, but they have one more game, May 30th, to have another championship. But that's another Champions League. Hopefully, yes.
They have Crystal Palace.
But I mean, 22 years exactly. 22 years. Dr. Bat, the legendary. Good morning. How are you this morning? Goodbye. Muteri Ekpa. Hey! Correct. Are you watching us?
Where our senator is back unchallenged, uncontested, just like that. Because it's the standards.
Just like that. But we need more answers to these sort of things. Well, all right. Well, now we've been covering some heavy stories this week. From school abductions in Oyo State to the United States and Nigeria's joint security operations and the APC primaries, which witnessed apparent vote rigging caught on camera. I spoke with Daniel Bwala, President Tinubu's special advisor on policy communication, to get answers about what this administration is doing to address Nigeria's immediate crisis and more. Here's what he had to say.
This is the evil that is attacking us as a people. And this government regrets this incident, but this government is committed to fighting it. Our approach to dealing with this is to work with the Nigerian people in partnership. It is unfortunate that after many years, this is still a sad situation. And like I said, and it bears repeating, that government regrets this incident, but the president continues to enjoin Nigerians to have faith. Let's partner together and we will put an end to this problem confronting us as a people.
I mean, yes, you say that the government regrets the situation, and the president has called this killing barbaric and said the IGP is personally leading a tech-driven operation. But Nigerians online are saying they have heard these statements before. After every mass abduction, every terror attack, statements are issued, condolences are extended, and then it happens again. I mean, what do you think that will be done differently this time? Regrets are accepted, but we need solutions, Mr. Wala.
I agree, solution is what we all look to. And evil men operate anywhere in the world. No matter how tight you are as a government, you do your best, and then you expect that with the help of God and the collective participation of the people themselves in providing intelligence or in forming a vanguard, so to speak, we will be able to put an end to it. I know the Nigerian people continue to complain, and that rightfully so, because if, for example, no matter how we say we're sorry and the incident happened again, people will complain, people will cry, people will mourn, because for God's sake, it's the life of the Nigerian people that are taken away by this evil element. And we will put an end to this as a people. I want to say one more thing regarding that. Every eve of election in Nigeria, from 2014, 2018, 2022, and now in 2026, you will see that crisis increases because of this idea of a crisis economy. A lot of people take advantage of that. But the will and the spirit of a collective people is what will put an end to this situation. The Constitution has guaranteed the right to every citizen of Nigeria, the right to private defense. You have right to defend yourself. When your right, my right, the right of my neighbor will come together, it is called collective right to defend ourselves. And Nigerian people have a right to defend themselves as a vanguard in their communities and localities.
I'm sure that you know that we do not have the right to bear arms. So I don't know what you mean by defend ourselves. How will that happen? What do you say to the Nigerian people? How do they defend themselves from terrorists?
Right. There are many layers for self-defense. Number one, if I am in my house and you come into my house and try to harm me, any lethal weapon I use and kill you by defending myself is guaranteed by the Constitution. That's number one. Number two, as a people, we have vigilante. In Borno State, we have paramilitary organizations that work as vanguard, and some of them go as front lines to provide intelligence to law enforcement. Yes, you're right. The Nigerian people do not have the right to bear certain arms unless those arms are permitted. But a collective people can come together and apply to the government for the right to coordinate themselves, a self-regulated militia. So I think that the Nigerian people in villages, in towns, in places where the presence of government is not very much in terms of law enforcement and security people, you can come together and create a vanguard and then apply to government to give you license, because government can give you license. So you apply to government to give you the license to bear arms that are permitted by law for the purposes of defense of your community.
Self-regulated militia, and this is your advice to the Nigerian people. But let's talk about these joint efforts. Now, the US-Nigeria joint operation that killed ISIS's second in command, Abu Bilal al-Muniki, was announced first by President Donald Trump of the United States on Truth Social and not by the Nigerian government. Now, 175 more terrorists have been eliminated in follow-up.
Both of them have appreciated each other and have completed execution being elected. There is a dictator, and the Nigerian people should avoid it, because such an individual will not respect the rights of others. With just a few people left in the area, let's take a look. Joining me on the program. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for having me. Thank you, and I also want to congratulate you for this new creative thing you have added to what I used to fondly call the gossip section. You finally have a chance to have engagement. That's very productive.
Fantastic. So it's no longer the gossip channel, is it? It's not. It's no longer the gossip program.
No, gossip section.
Well, all right. Thank you very much, Nana Wala. Welcome back to What's Trending. We've been reading your comments during the break, and you have a lot to say. We'll dive into some of those reactions in a bit, but first, let's get into other stories. Now, in Oyo State, chilling new videos have emerged on social media showing the aftermath of violent abductions of teachers and students in the community, with residents fleeing their homes to save their lives. In Yaota community, Orile local government area, many houses and streets are now deserted, with just a few people left in the area. Let's take a look.
ọ̀kan lára ìlú tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Oríire. Ẹ bá wo àárín ìlú, ẹ rí i pé àárín ìlú sí àdọ̀gán. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. Ibi ni ó ti pọ̀ jù tí wọ́n ti kó àwọn ènìyàn. Ẹ rí àwọn ènìyàn ẹrù kan tó ní wọ́n ti fẹ́ kó kúrò. Ẹ dákun àná. Má. Ẹ̀yin ni wọ́n. Ọmọ tàbí tó ní kó lójú. Kí ló wáyé?
Àṣìṣe àgbà tí ń kọ mí.
Ẹ á rí pé ẹ ti kó ẹrù lọ sí.
Èsì ẹrù ti tèmi, àwọn kan ló kẹrù wá láti tàbí ọkọ lọ.
Ẹ̀wọ̀n akókòrò nínú ẹ̀.
Kókó ni àwọn tá a kú láwà nínú ìlú yìí. Sápò dúkìá wa kan ọmọ wa lọ.
Ọmọ àwọn táìmù lẹ.
Ìyáwó ta ní bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú skọ́ọ̀sì lọ fún ọmọ tàbí tí ọmọ ọdún karùn-ún, ọmọ ọdún méjì. Ìjọba gbà wá kí wọ́n sáànù wa. Orí wọ́n ti sẹ́ẹ̀dì ìyàwó wa tán gbé lọ. Wọ́n ní sẹ́ẹ̀dì sí wa tí ń lórí sẹ́ẹ̀tì látàlú. Kí wọ́n pa fún wọn dáàbò wọn wá àwọn ọmọ wa lẹ̀. Láti ẹni tó pa láàárọ̀ lórí sẹ́ẹ̀tì fún wọn jọ wò. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé náà wọ́n dárí jì wá wọ́n sáànù wa.
Wọ́n ṣàánú wa ní o. Wọ́n ṣàánú wa káwọn ọmọ ìlú wálé o. Kí wọ́n wálé ní o. Gbogbo etí bàbá ń ṣe ní ọ̀tọ̀ o. Wọ́n wálé ní o.
This is so heartbreaking. These videos come as we're also, seeing similar videos like this from Kwara State of ghost towns with people having to pack their life belongings, leave their homes and keep their families safe. Meanwhile, Defense Headquarters announced in a statement on Tuesday that after joint counter-terrorism efforts with United States Africa Command, 175 ISIS terrorists have been killed in the northeast. The statement was signed by Major General Samila Uba. And also we had, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General YD Shaibu, revealing that the Army plans to recruit 28,000 more troops to strengthen the fight against terrorism and insecurity. Dr. Abati, we're seeing this sort of, joint efforts, but also we are seeing these terror attacks in our communities. In your state, we've seen some videos, some unconfirmed, people fleeing their communities. Your thoughts at this point?
Okay, let me start from where you stop. First, the efforts of the Nigerian government. Now, you recall that on Sunday, a few days ago, after the statement by the American President Trump on Saturday about the collaboration between Nigeria and the United States, leading to the killing of Al-Menoki, who is said to be the second in command. Now, on Sunday, the Nigerian government, through President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, also issued a statement in that regard about efforts being made. Subsequently, the Nigerian government defense headquarters said they had decimated, they had neutralized about an additional 75 ISIS fighters in the northeast. And then yesterday, General Sumaila Uba also reported that as a result of collaboration between the defense headquarters, the Nigerian Armed Forces, and AFRICOM, the US command, the AFRICOM, that they've been able to kill up to about 175, including a guy called Abdul Wahab, another guy called Abdul Mujab, and also a third guy who was said also to be senior commanders. Now, the pure indication here is that one, the collaboration between the US and Nigeria in dealing with these terrorists appears to be yielding results. Two, it is also obvious that all these senior ISIS commanders working with ISWAP, when they got into trouble in the Middle East, Nigeria and the Sahel region became their location. What we can urge is that the federal government, should continue in this regard. It's not an episode. It must be a consistent, sustainable kind of cooperation, particularly as General Uba was very clear in saying that weapons have been destroyed, networks have been broken, the financial trail, have also been compromised. Now, as for the community in Orire local government, it's very unfortunate. The event there was coordinated, where we were told that 5 different local governments in Oyo including Oyo is Surulere local government and Orire and one other local government. In schools, in those communities. Now, this is what the women are reacting to. People are running away from this particular community in Orire local government, and they are talking about their children that have been taken away. The community is their water community. It's become desolate. It's an emerging ghost town. And then in Kwara State, the community in Kwara State is known as Uru, and that happened before now. People have also deserted that. So you have people becoming internal refugees in their own country. People being displaced on a consistent basis, in different parts of the country. And this is very scary because we used to talk about the northeast, the northwest, the north central. Now the thing has crept into the southwest through the Kwara axis. Ogbomoso is like a buffer zone between the direct north and then down south. Now they have reached Kwara, they have reached Ogbomoso, they've reached Oyo. I read a report saying that in fact in one estate in Ijebu, the estate was attacked overnight and people were abducted. So they have reached Ogun State now. Very soon they will hit the Atlantic Ocean. So that underscores the urgency of the problem and why the Nigerian government should continue to do whatever it must. I heard Ebola say government will collaborate with the people. People should defend themselves. The duty of government under section 14(2) of the 1999 Constitution is to ensure the security and welfare of the people. We have become a desperate society, living in a pressure cooker style of environment. If the people have to be the ones to carry arms and defend themselves, if you give me a knife, I can't even slaughter ordinary chicken. I can't.
He's promoting a self-defense mechanism.
I get his point. You have the right to self-defense. You should also
guarantees that we can even ask the government for license in our community.
It's not that easy to get.
I don't know.
If your assailant is carrying AK-47,
yes,
you are carrying a hunting gun, a big gun.
Yes.
Look at let government continue to do its job and do it well, so that the people can have confidence and trust government. That government is discharging its responsibility.
Thank you.
Let them not pass the ball to us.
No.
If you give me ordinary Kunu or what they call it,
the
I wouldn't know what to use it.
Oh, yeah. But it's true. Goodbye.
Yes, let me chip in very quickly. I've been repeating something over the past few days, and I'm excited to see some progress, which is that I'd called out the fact that it seems that the United States was leading when it comes to making these announcements when there are strikes and so forth. But this most recent one that took place on the 15th of May, 15th of May, or is it 18th of May? I saw a simultaneous posting from AFRICON and from Nigeria's Defense HQ. And for me, that it speaks volumes. Some people might think we're nitpicking at little things, but it speaks volumes about an equal partnership as opposed to a leader and a master and servant type of relationship. Very quickly on Oyo, the Defense HQ has come out again to say that there is no southwest camp. I want to get their exact words. Operational base. They say there's no terrorist operational base in the southwest. Obviously, they're trying to calm some of the panic that we've seen translating into people leaving their homes and their villages and so forth. However, I think there's an important conversation that needs to happen around mining. We know that historically in Oyo State, where illegal mining is concerned, there's been a recurring challenge that has never been able to be addressed quite effectively. And we know that when these terrorists are being attacked and being decimated in various parts, whether it be the northwest, the northeast, and so forth, they're going to continue to look for places where they can get themselves resources to continue to finance their activities. So having said that, I hope that there is a concentrated effort to ensure that wherever there is mining activity in the country, security is increased, as obviously they're running away from their strong bases now. And so there needs to be collaboration. The governors of the southern states had come together to announce a security fund. Was that created? How far are we with that collaborative effort? Because, like I said, it's just it's common sense. If they're being attacked in their stronghold and they're being forced to move out, those places that are not ready and alert, such as the Southwest, for example, would not want to be caught unprepared. So just a few points on that.
Thank you both. Now, reactions are trailing Vice President Kashim Shettima's shocking revelation on Tuesday that 3 months into President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency, a group of people told the president to stop wearing the attire gifted to him by Shettima during their 2023 campaign because they were charmed and would lead to the president's death. Shettima made these comments during the public presentation of former head of state Yakubu Gowon's autobiography. Let's take a look.
When we are campaigning for him to emerge as the aspirant of the APC, we are going round the north. You know, we the people of Borno, unlike the Sokoto people, we are the best race northerners. So I got some Wagan Bali materials and cups for him to blend with the northern crowd. So I defeated him very well. So his age was said, please produce more. He defeated him. Barely 3 months when we were sworn into office. Some of my people from Borno came to him and said, please stop wearing those Shettima clothes. He must have charmed them, and you are going to die, and he will become the president. Just barely 3 months, and to the eternal credit of the president, when I came back from China, while I represented him at the Bells and Roads Initiative campaign, he said, sit down. Your people came to me and said, I should stop wearing those braces you gave me. But he said their story did not add up, because when you gave me those braces, I was an aspirant.
All right. I mean, Shettima is using this story to demonstrate how there's been, a total breakdown in trust when it comes to how we as citizens relate with one another. As a result, Shettima ended his speech with a nod to Martin Luther King Jr., stating, let us learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Rufai.
It's very sad word that the Vice President, Mr. Alhaji Kashim Shettima, had to go through that. But it shows you the intricacies in power, where some people will just come, start, concoct all sorts of stories to be able to cause disaffection amongst two people. I mean, this was the same man that campaigned everywhere with President Tinubu. All the time he was campaigning and believing in this dream, he didn't say anything. If he had not won, those people would not say that. Now that they were both successful in the elections, just to be to cause discord and enmity. And I think kudos to President Tinubu here, because it shows the kind of spirit by challenging the story and saying this story does not make sense. And this really happens everywhere you can ever think or imagine. Even in the workspace, there are people that go to say all sorts of things about people. But if you don't have your head to be able to think about what they have said about you properly, then you will cause enmity, you will make trouble with anybody. So this is just to show you just a little bit as regards the rancor. Oji, by quick comment. As regards the military saying that there are no cells of terrorists in the Southwest, I'd like to ask them, people that can behead people, who are they? Are they glorious civilians? Are they patriotic citizens? When people kidnap a group of persons, behead them to be able to cause terror. I'll take you back historically. All of this started from a guy called Vlad Impaler, if you remember Vlad Impaler, that used to impale his opponents on pikes. He would impale, stab them, and he would hang their heads up on pike to be able to show others.
That's Vlad.
Yeah, that's Vlad. Yeah, that's why it's called Vlad Impaler. So, if somebody deliberately beheaded somebody to make a statement, is that not the greatest level of terror? And the military is trying to make explanations because we don't want to alarm the situation. There is terror everywhere in this country. I remember how they tried mitigating then when Fashiroti's daughter was killed. Since then, has Ondo not been a cesspit for terrorism? Was it not after then we had the Ondo massacre in the church? And we keep deceiving ourselves and say, oh, they are terrorists. They are everywhere in this country. It's a failure of the security architecture. And the next thing we are talking about human beings forming militia. And they need to defend themselves in this country. If they want us to do that, the government will surrender our sovereignty to us. Because the reason why we surrender our sovereignty to them in Section 14 is that they must provide security to us. It's not a case of all of us coming together. I mean, I keep talking about how we can fund the military, we keep advocating for the military, advocating for the security apparatus, just to be able to get this job done. And now you're trying to push the responsibility back to us. There is terror everywhere. Let's not qualify it. It's divide, with due respect. I get the conversation about mining, but this is calculated. This is deliberate. They have been mining in those areas, Kwara, everything, for a while now. That's one of the legion belts in Nigeria. We didn't hear this upsurge of violence. It's not today, it's been many years. Why is this happening now?
The terrorists have reached Jebu land.
It's not today, Dr. Abati. It's not today.
Very quickly, I just wanted to comment on what the Vice President said. That trust may not be at individual level between the President and his vice. This is a problem that we have had in this country, particularly between governors and deputy governors. Many deputy governors in the past were impeached, or they were sidelined, or removed completely because of this belief that, your deputy governor will want to succeed you. In fact, some will even be accused of doing juju. So if the Vice President says, I gave clothes to my principal, and he was advised not to touch those clothes because I may have gone to do something to those clothes, it's out of this superstition. Nigerians are very superstitious, so they believe that, almost everybody around here is looking to eliminate the person in front so that you can take over. And the people who are most responsible for this are the informal occupiers of the corridors of power. There's a particular community, either at the state level or at the federal level. They have no position, they have no appointment, they are not under the constitution. Their job is just to be carrying deals all over the place because they've been granted access. Those people at that informal level within the governance process, they pose more threats to the governance process in Nigeria than anybody else. And then the other thing is about giving rules to deputies. We say it's one ticket, but a deputy governor is no better than a spare tire. A vice president is like a senior minister. Yes, the constitution in his own case gives him a role. Under chapter 6 says, he's chairman of the National Economic Council, he's a member of the National Security Council, he's also a member of the Federal Executive Council. But in the real sense, all the powers are in the hands of the governor at the state level or the president at the federal level, who oftentimes operates like a monarch. But these informal people in the corridor, they cause a lot of problems. They don't do anything other than carrying tales. Maybe perhaps if we give specific definitions to the roles that can be played by the principal and the deputy, since we say it is a joint ticket, then of course, maybe the tail bearers will be discouraged.
Well said. Now let's discuss the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arresting former Minister of Power, Saleh Maman, in Kaduna State. Maman served under the Buhari administration and had been on the run after being convicted in absentia and sentenced to 75 years in prison for massive financial crimes. Authorities are now processing his transfer to custody to begin his sentencing. Even by the FCC must be commended for this win. It shows they, have the technology to apprehend perpetrators on the run. 75 years he ran. Now they caught him. Your thoughts?
Yeah, a 75-year conviction is by no means anything small. And I think it is important to acknowledge the work of the EFCC in this. But there's so many ways to look at this conversation. I want to carry forward a conversation that Rufai started yesterday around us maybe revisiting the conditions that are permissible for somebody to run for office, because this man was sentenced on the 13th of this month. Before he was convicted rather, he had actually declared to run for the governor of Taraba State, even though he had a case before the court with EFCC. And there's several cases of that nature where you have people who are under, investigation. They have cases to answer for, but our constitution does not bar them from participating in the political process until they have been convicted. And it's not just Nigeria, there's a number of countries that also fall under that. But the moral argument, like Rufai was making, is that, is this really the framework, that is this what it's come to, that we need to reduce ourselves with such great candidates, potential candidates, politicians, and grassroots leaders in the making nationally? Surely there needs to be some sort of case put forward in our constitution to recuse those who are under investigation. Now, this man, when you read about him, is somebody who famously came and told Nigerians that, he has delivered 18 to 24 hours of electricity. You can only imagine the backlash from that. The Siemens project fell under him, and of course the Mambila project, which is tied to this particular case. He was caught hiding in an apartment in Kaduna, and they say that the two people who are hiding him have also been arrested. And the EFCC says that they were able to deploy surveillance, and EFCC is making a case for the further use of surveillance when it comes to ensuring that they can keep perpetrators of these types of crimes under their radar. But in doing so, I think it also amplifies the argument we always make, which is that we want to see less of what appears to be selectivity when it comes to prosecuting these cases. We want to see more successful, high-profile prosecutions coming in from the EFCC. And then secondly, a conversation needs to be had about those restrictions, because even, certificate forgery now is no longer a crime before the Electoral Act. You can still contest for an election. So we also need to come down and assess what is the real criteria that we want for when choosing our leaders in this country. The bar can't be so low. It simply can't. But he's going to be transferred to correctional facility, I believe, today. And I wish him a well-served 75 years. What can I say?
I wish him well-served 75 years. Wow. Goodbye. Okay.
I don't know what else to wish him.
A good win for the EFCC. Well, in another right. Well, all right. A good win for the EFCC and Nigeria at large. All right, shall we move to the next story? In another development, the former Minister of Transport and Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi called out former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on his lack of electability, saying that even though he wins primaries, his wins have never actually translated into a single presidential victory. Amechi made these comments on live television on Monday. Let's listen.
It's his choice. It's his choice to contest. You see, okay, so I listened when they said the former vice president said he never failed primary before. Now, this will be the first time he will fail primary. But that's not the issue. The issue that at all times that you have passed primary, you have not won election. So it's about electability. It's not the number of times. No. Can I win this election if you put me before the country vis-a-vis him? Will he be able to win the election? And the answer I get is that he may not be able to win the election if he's put forward. Why? Atiku, yes. Where did you go there? Because I done against Atiku before I lost. That's elementary analysis. So what more team do they bring to the table?
All right, we're going to hear all the contenders and aspirants. I'm going to run through all the stories before I come to you, Rufai. Later in that interview, Amechi stated that his plan for governance would focus on national integration and education in the north, among other pillars. However, his comments regarding Atiku come after the African Democratic Congress gears up for its presidential primary set for next week. Meanwhile, in a new clip circulating on Tuesday, Kaduna North representative and the son of the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, Mohammed Bello El-Rufai, has doubled down on defiantly saying he doesn't fear for his father's safety after his detention by the Department of State Services, speaking to the press after El-Rufai's latest arrest in Abuja. He says the DSS is the one that should fear if anything happens to his father. Let's take a look.
Fearful of anything. Malam had his health condition set, he's in good health. So I don't know what this whole fear thing is about. And this is a year. You ever think something will happen to Malam wrong? You get, so there's no fear, okay? You said what am I? I'm a El-Rufai, there are no fears. Would you let justice prevail? There are no fears. We saw him and take this. If anything happens to them, they should fear. The country has changed, that's my opinion.
Well, his comments come amid new public concern over El-Rufai's health while in detention. In a separate video on Tuesday, his wife spoke out to condemn her husband's latest detention. Let's go.
They brought him to DSS. As I'm talking to you, he has refused to get down from the car, and he told them that if you want to take me inside DSS custody, you will have to physically force me into doing this.
All right, well, more on politics in a stunning disclosure on live television. The lawmaker representing Surulere 1, Desmond Elliott, revealed that he only signed off on last year's plan to impeach Mudashiru Obasa as Speaker of the House because he thought it was backed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Speaking on Tuesday, Elliott sought to defend himself, saying he wasn't even in Nigeria when the plan to get rid of Obasa first began. Let's take a look.
During the period of January 13th of 2025, we're in recess, and then it was an opportunity for us to travel to attend my wife's younger sister's wedding.
Was that the time that the House of Assembly impeached him?
Yes, that was the time. Okay. Right on the road that Ajayi Obasa was impeached. It came to me as a shock because I was in South Africa then. So obviously it took me about 2 days to come back. I was also as confused as everybody was. And then I saw that almost everybody had signed. And pretty much we thought it was from the presidency. In all fairness, we thought it was from the presidency. And of course, I put in I appended my own signature. I believe I was maybe 30-something person at that point in time, because others who had traveled and returned and had also signed. But eventually, Mr. President called us and made us understand that it was not from him.
All right, Rufai, Desmond Elliott has been trending on social media. I mean, this comment has got social media buzzing. Your thoughts on all of it?
Okay, so the question is, based on Abila's account, that President Tinubu had called him and said that they said your son is the one supporting people that are against Obasa, and they called him to stand down. When Abila called him and he said, no, it's got no hand in it, what did he do afterwards? Because after signing, we saw the role Desmond play on TV. We are not blind. I think Desmond should just eat his own pie. Has he not done enough? At least another person should go now.
He's not 4 years.
12 years.
Is it 12 years? Oh, okay, he's looking for that.
So when you are somewhere for 12 years, I mean, if you work in a company for 12 years, Dr. Abati, have you not done your bits?
Promotion.
So you should go and do that.
So after 12 years, you're going to retire from our rice roof.
You should go
So can I retire, Dr. Abati? I've been here for 13 years. Should I retire? It's what is 13 years. You already have your own office. So the career promotion is there. 13 years. All right. Yes, go ahead.
Dear Mr. Peter, see, yes, you have your browse, your position, your campaign, you're talking about electability. But isn't it important that at least you win a primary and become a candidate on the national ballot and get votes in the national election after winning the primaries before you talk about somebody's electability? You are comparing yourself with a man that you can say anything you want. I don't agree with anything Atiku does. But he has won primaries. He has competed in the national election and won votes. Maybe when you win in primary and compete in the national election, and weigh your votes equally, you will talk about electability.
Just a quick word on this on Organa because he granted one pidgin English interview. You kept saying Organa. Now, what I read, he said he was in South Africa. He came back and he gave him a document to sign. And he thought the directive was from the presidency. And he signed immediately. Is he saying that as a lawmaker, they gave him a paper to sign? He didn't read it. No. He didn't read between the lines. He just signed because he had the president's name. 2, why is he dragging the name of the president into it? He's suggesting to the Nigerian public that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu controls the Lagos State House of Assembly and that he dictates them. He's an adult, for heaven's sake. He should be able to read a document and make up his own mind. And now that his godfather, Honorable Bajabi Amina, now says he's another person that will be supported, namely Honorable Barakat, who seems to be making waves in Surulere, Constituency 1. He now starts calling Bajabi Amina Daddy. How old is Bajabi Amina? That there's one Elliot who even has a white beard. Who will call him Daddy. Right. So this kind of desperation, I don't understand it. And he has spent 12 years. This is not a chieftaincy title. Those who are elected into public offices, they are not supposed to be traditional rulers. You spend your time, when another person comes up, the person beats you at the primaries or at the post, you go away. Okay. People should have a second address. When you serve government, go back to your profession. Okay. He's a very good actor. I'm sure you will still find some roles to play in Nollywood. I'm sure. And maybe in the future he can. That's it. You know, well, I hope he takes your advice. Dr. Abati. All right. Organa.
Well, all right. Before we take our good news report, I'd like to highlight this devastating story.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a dear heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. Wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone. then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my vein. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home.